You're afraid they won't recognize you, that you have changed too much, grown older, become different, and that the person who is waiting for you there will see a stranger. But there is something even more frightening than that question. What if the person you lost didn't remember you in their final years? What if Alzheimer's erased you from their memory long before their physical death? What if the last thing you saw in their eyes was emptiness instead of recognition? Edgar Cayce answered this question directly, and his answer is not consolation, it is mechanics, specific, the kind that explains why the very person who died without remembering you will recognize you there first, faster than anyone, completely. Stay with me, because what you are about to hear in the next few minutes is what many people have been looking for years and never found. Let's start right away with the most painful part, because it deserves to come first. Dementia is a disease of the brain, not a disease of the soul. This is what Cayce repeated in his readings again and again with a specificity that cannot be dismissed as a beautiful metaphor. The brain, he said, is a receiver, a tool through which consciousness interacts with the physical world. Through this tool you hear, see, remember, recognize. When the tool breaks, the signal becomes distorted, becomes unclear, sometimes disappears entirely. This is exactly what Alzheimer's does. It destroys the receiver, not the signal, not the consciousness, not the soul, not the love that existed between you. All of that continues to exist, with all its memory, with all its strength, with all the fullness that was there before the disease began its destruction. The physical tool simply no longer allows this to manifest in the physical world. When the body dies and the damaged tool is removed, only the signal remains, clean, without distortion, with complete memory of you, with complete recognition, with the same love that was there when they first held you in their arms, or when you first met, or when they looked at you the way only the closest people ever look at you. This is exactly why something happens that many people have witnessed at the bedside of someone dying with dementia, and that no one could explain. The moment of absolute clarity shortly before death, when a person who hadn't recognized you for months suddenly looks at you, really looks, and you see that they are there, that they see you, that they recognize you, that they remember. Neurologists call this terminal lucidity and admit they cannot explain its mechanism. The brain is destroyed, but suddenly it works. For a few minutes, for a few seconds. Cayce explained it differently. He said this is the moment when the soul begins to leave the damaged tool, and for a moment, through the cracks in the broken receiver, the signal becomes visible, clean, complete. The very signal that had existed all along while the tool was being destroyed. That second before the last breath when they look at you with clear eyes, that is them, the real them, remembering everything, recognizing you completely. If you were at such a bedside and witnessed that moment, you know what I am talking about. You saw it, and what you felt in that moment was the truth. But now, what Cayce said about how recognition works there. Because this explains why it is absolute, for everyone. Not only for those who died with dementia. Most of us think of identity as something connected to appearance, to a face, to a voice. And this is exactly why the fear arises. If I have changed on the outside, they won't recognize me. Cayce said that this fear is based on a fundamental misunderstanding. Every soul has what he called an energetic signature, unique, unchanging, one that forms at the moment of the first incarnation and does not change with age or illness or decades of separation. It is like a voice. You recognize someone close to you by their voice even when you cannot see their face, even after years have passed, because there is something in it, intangible but absolutely specific, that is exactly them and no one else. The energetic signature works the same way, only more precisely, more absolutely, without any possibility of error. On the other side, recognition happens not through sight or hearing. There are no physical organs. It happens through direct perception of this signature. Not, it seems like it might be you, but this is you and I know it, as certainly as I know that I exist. This is exactly why reunions are described by people who have experienced near death as instantaneous, without the awkward period of trying to figure out if it is really them, just immediate knowing, which cannot be confused with anything. A real story. A woman, 68 years old, cardiac arrest, 20 minutes without a pulse. She described a reunion with her mother who had died when she herself was 6 years old. She did not remember her mother's face. There were almost no photographs. The family had been poor. She remembered only the feeling of her mother, the warmth of her hands, a specific scent, something intangible that was only her mother and no one else. And in her near-death experience, she recognized her instantly, not because she saw a familiar face, because she felt that same feeling, the same warmth. 62 years had passed, and she recognized it immediately, as if not a single day had gone by. Cayce would have said the love that existed between them had not changed in 62 years. And it was through that love, through that energetic signature her mother carried within her, that the daughter recognized her. Completely, without a shadow of doubt. But here is the detail that stops even the skeptics. People who encountered on the other side relatives they had never seen during their lifetime. A man described a reunion with a brother who had died 3 years before his own birth, whom he had never seen, about whom he knew only that he had existed. The parents barely spoke of him because of the pain, and he recognized him immediately, not because someone said, "This is your brother," but because he felt the connection that had existed between them, the one that had existed before either of them came into this world. Cayce explained this through what he called soul memory. Two consciousnesses connected in the space between incarnations carry that connection within them regardless of whether they met in physical life. And on the other side, that connection becomes perceptible again, as if physical life was only a temporary interruption. Now, what they look like there. Because this is the question everyone asks. Cayce answered simply, the soul on the other side looks the way it knows itself from the inside, not the way others saw it, but the way it felt most itself, most alive, most genuine. For most people, this is a period of maturity, not youth when they hadn't yet fully become themselves, and not old age when the body was beginning to fail them, but the period when they were the most complete version of themselves. This is how you will see them, and this is how they will see you. In that version of you that is most genuinely you, not the one that appears in photographs, the one your own soul knows. And now the last thing. The part that makes all of this practically significant for the life you are living right now. Cayce said that the energetic signature is strengthened through specific experiences here, through moments when you were most yourself, when you loved completely, when you were honest. Each such moment makes the signature more distinct, more vivid. And this is how you arrive on the other side, vivid and distinct. The more fully you lived, the more deeply you loved, the faster they will find you, among everyone, instantly, the way they would find a beloved voice in the noisiest crowd. The years you lived after losing someone did not erase you. They added to you. Every year of pain you survived without breaking. Every morning when you got up and kept living even though it was hard. All of this made your energetic signature brighter, not dimmer. And when you arrive, they will recognize you instantly, not the person they remember, the person you have become, with every year you have lived since, with all the love you have been carrying within you all this time. Write in the comments, is there someone you lost, who in the end no longer recognized you? And did you see that moment of clarity shortly before they left? Write it, because you are not the only one who went through this, and because what you saw in that moment was the truth. Cayce would have confirmed it.